all of the sides are open.
Yeah, I mean, if that works for you, cool.
She likes it. Yeah.
I talk to some people though, and like they'll be like, "I put a blanket over the whole thing." I'm like, God, that just seems
No,
that
no,
seems like a
I don't.
lot.
I don't cover her all the way up because whenever she goes in there, she doesn't like bark and freak out or anything.
Good. Okay, so we're gonna talk about recall, right? Which is just like come when called. Okay, so when we start this, well, I'll show you a couple things first, and then I'll get you involved.
All right.
Daisy. Yeah. Okay, so that right there was what I call the surprise game. So like she's doing her own thing, I'm doing my own thing. As far as she knows, I'm not even thinking about her. And then I just surprise her by calling her, and then she shows up and I reward. Let's try. The problem with this is you can't just sit here and repeat it a whole lot, right? Because like now she's on to you. Now she's on to you. She knows you got treats. You know, like she's going to be paying attention in general. I mean, obviously she's exhausted, but Daisy. Yeah, good girl. So that's how I do it. So like I'll say their name first, and then their name is like the command, right? It's like, hey, come back. And then when they show up, I'll reward. If I say her name and like right there, I said her name and then she was still just dead. You know, like I'll make that sound or some sound. You know, like I had a guy in group class one time. I tell this story all the time. I had a guy in group class one time. His dog knew me because I've been to their house before, and like she was going nuts, like she's just pulling on the leash, screaming, just oh, you know, trying to get to me. So I took her from him and then continued teaching class. And then at some point, I said, "Hey, Donnie, call Izzy back to you and see if you can get her to come." Well, she's still jumping all over me and stuff, and he's like, "Izzy, Izzy, 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 Izzy." He just keeps saying her name. I said, "Okay, okay." You know,
Yeah.
I know him pretty well. So I was like, "Listen, hey, come here." Good. She was chewing on the couch.
Oh God, please,
Oh God, no.
please don't.
Well, so that's how I handle that is just redirect her into something else. Like I got her over here, she sat, I rewarded that. You know, just constant redirection when they're little puppies. Um,
I don't have any toys with me to give you.
see?
I usually, whenever she's doing something like that, I usually hand her a toy.
Yes. Yeah.
Her toy.
Yeah, that's great. But okay, so Donnie kept saying that. I said, okay, Donnie, you can't say her name anymore. You can do whatever else you want, but you can't say her name. And he did a super realistic turkey gobble. He was like, blah, 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 or whatever, and she flew into his arms. So don't be afraid to be silly. Like it might save your dog's life one day.
Yeah.
Just do whatever it takes to get her back. But okay, so I called her. She came. I rewarded, right? That's the surprise game. You just can't repeat that one. So like I use that one like I'm doing the dishes or I'm changing the baby's diaper. I just happen to have treats nearby. And I call and they come and I reward, right? That one gets you that nice like whiplash turn, like they're running into traffic and you say, Daisy, and she turns on a dime. Yeah, come here. I was talking about you. And then the next one, okay. So I like to do this with their dog food, right? Do we still have some of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just get a couple pieces. Go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna toss a piece of her food out, and then I'm gonna call her back to me right after she eats it, and then I'm gonna reward her with something better, right? Hey, hey. Daisy. Yeah, good girl. And like I'll do this right before I feed them. Daisy. Yeah, good job. Good girl. Huh? I'll do this right before I feed them because they're gonna eat anyway. Daisy. Yeah, I might as well put it to use.
Right.
So like I'll just take like 3 to 5 pieces of kibble out. I'll throw a piece of dog food, and then I'll call them back to me and reward them with something better. The reason I do that is because even though we're inside, even though there's not really any distractions, I want to impress upon her that, like, okay, great stuff is going to happen out in the world. Like, you're going to chase squirrels, you're going to, you know, whatever. You're going to see all kinds of cool things. But the best stuff happens near me, right? So I'm trying to go ahead and impress on her like that lesson. And then the next one, I have to have you. So I'm gonna give you just 2 treats. Okay. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna keep her over here by me, and then you're gonna call her. So you can only say her name once. After that, if she's not responding or whatever, you can make whatever sounds you want. But you're gonna call her, make whatever sounds you need to. She's gonna come. You reward her, love on her, throw a party, like let her know, like, hey, this is the best thing you ever did. And then you start ignoring her, and then I'll call her.
All right.
Right? So go.
Daisy.
She was
Good
already
girl. Good girl. That's a good girl.
Daisy. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Good job. Go.
Daisy. Good girl. Good girl. That's good girl. Good girl.
Daisy. Yeah. Good job. And that's it. So like those 3 games right there will get you really far as recall goes, as far as come uncalled. So like what I like to do is like, especially with the one you need at least 2 people for, I like to start off just in the same room. And then once she's mastered that, she's sprinting back and forth. Maybe she's even like anticipating, like before the other person can call, she's coming back. Then I start like going in like one person in one room, one person in another. And then I might go further into the house. And then like, I'll tell you an extreme example. So like Cooper, my dog, when we first got him, I was working on this stuff. And what I did was we were all sitting on the couch. We had our dogs between us. My wife's over here. And I said, I texted her and I said, hey, I'm going to go hide. Just keep the dog's attention. So I went in our room and I hid in the closet and I left the door cracked about this much. And I had a Frisbee, right, which was Cooper's favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I just peeked my head out and I said, Coop, which is his recall, right? And then I ducked back in. And I almost immediately, he comes in the room. He knows where I hollered from, but then he's like, what? And I hear his nose kick in. He's sniffing. And finally, he noses that door open. I was like, yeah, good job. And I threw the Frisbee. So, I mean, like, you can step it up. Like, the only limit on that is how creative you are. You can do it however much you want. I've got a service dog client. We're going to start doing, like, the little girl that she's got to find. She's going to be, like, hiding under blankets. And it's not going to be good enough that she finds the blanket she's under. She's going to have to nose underneath the blanket and find it.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you can get as creative as you want with that. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's about it.